ZYXWVUTSRQP.
You sound like Rick from Rick and Morty.
Morty.
Z.
I did. I watched the Rick and Morty yesterday.
How was it?
Yeah, it's an interesting show.
Interestingly, and I mean, like, if this is going anywhere, it's at the start of the show. But when I was thinking about things that I like for a favorite thing, the alphabet did sort of come into it. I was just on the list I made. I like the alphabet.
Language could have made it onto mine.
Language was on my list at one point. Yeah,
I know you had a much larger list than I did.
Yeah, I mean, what I did my way, and based on like how we're gonna do the episode. My strategy was to come up with a list of everything that I liked, which, granted, there's no way even 1% of things would have been on there, but it was still pretty wide-reaching. It was still a fucking long list, and then I went through and like narrowed it down. I'm guessing you didn't do that. It seems like too much work for a podcast you no longer care about.
Yeah, a podcast that I personally shot in the back of the head.
Well, no, it was a mutual. My hand wasn't on the gun. But my hand was on your shoulder.
Like I said, it's time to kill it, and I handed you the pistol.
Shoot the dog.
And then you were like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So then I reached over with my AR-16, and I just fucking put 10 rounds in the back of its head.
The back of Playing Favorites.
And I said, you're going alone today, boy.
I guess we probably should address the fact that I still feel good about Playing Favorites. My understanding is you still feel good, and it's been a good run, and there's some good stuff.
It's had its day. Every dog has its day.
Exactly. Playing Favorites,
and every dog has to get shot.
What? Yeah. And so, whilst that it has come around, for us to take old Lassie out into the woods and put it down with a gun, as previously mentioned in that sort of long-winded metaphor.
We're really emphasizing that this is a gun we are using to kill Playing Favorites.
Yeah. I don't think it's not like we're getting out while the going's still good. Like, it is still, we both feel good about it, and it's been a good time. It just feels like there are better places we can put our creative efforts, our time better spent, as opposed to just, this was the thing that I really worried about, and the position I sort of had when we had a conversation about the future of Playing Favorites was like, what, do we just do this forever? Do we just keep going?
That's that was the point of the conversation where I was like, what are we continuing for at this point?
Yeah, is it just is there going to be any change over a year, 2 years, 5 years? Are we gonna and so it felt like, okay, that in that case
we've talked about all the best topics, really.
I did like root vegetables.
That was a good one, yeah.
Yeah, and idioms. Really enjoyed the idioms.
I do really feel like, if I had known it was gonna end so soon, we would have, we could have done a couple of better ones.
Yeah.
Which then really makes me think, why didn't we just do that anyway? But, hey-ho.
Yeah, it is a weird...
Maybe we should go through, the episodes that could have been.
Genuinely.
Just speedrun answers.
Genuinely, on this list, there are so many good topics.
Okay, go.
Okay, all right. Alcoholic beverage.
Oh, vodka.
Lyric from Drops of Jupiter.
Hold on.
There are so many things on this. We
don't have to do all of them. Just cut them to the good ones.
Okay.
But that's a good one. I know I have a favorite. Oh, it's really hard. All the lyrics in Drops of Jupiter are really good.
It's a great song.
I think it might be, did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights all faded? And that heaven is overrated. Which is technically 2 lines.
Yeah, that is kind of cheating. I would probably say... maybe Did Venus Blow Your Mind is a good one.
That's a good
one. Venus Blow Your Mind. Oh, so good. One that I feel I didn't... I was going to suggest it instead of Geographical Feature, the episode which killed Playing Favorites. Yeah. But I thought
everyone's going to think we did record it.
No, we didn't. We didn't record it in the end.
It was never recorded.
Yeah, we sat on this record and had the conversation when we realised Playing Favorites had to be put down. Internet Animal, which was the original episode 4.
Yeah.
And then I said, I don't know, how much is there to talk about? I don't really know. Yeah.
I suggested that
you did?
on episode 4, yeah. And you were like, no.
And we did
Okay.
fictional bear instead, which is,
God.
you know, I like that.
You know, that's a good,
Hypothetical.
yeah.
But my favorite internet animal is keyboard cat.
That's a good answer. See, my answer's very different now. I feel like in the era of TikTok, like things have changed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is it that racist tortoise from TikTok?
It's not the racist. It's probably Sister Minnie, which is the
I don't know that
Islamic cat.
Oh, yeah. No, I do know who that is. Okay.
It's a good one.
There's so many good ones, you know?
What could have been?
Did we ever mention on the podcast? I have to get this anecdote out of the way.
What?
That we did the first episode of Playing Favorites. We talked about Jainism, we talked about all kinds of stuff, right? And then, like, we put it out, we, like, posted around, like, trying to, you know, generate a bit of noise about the podcast we were starting. And my dad listened.
Oh, yeah.
and my dad, you know, sent me via text his feedback.
A big list.
And it read, enjoyed the first podcast. You work well together. Suggested topics. And then gave a big list of all of these different potential topics we could do. And I always had this is on the document that I have called PF Ideas. Just at the bottom is a screenshot of this text as like a, in case of emergency, break glass. In case one day we're so out of ideas, we could just turn to my dad's suggested topics, which include gardening implements, food desserts, trees, which we did, shoes, sports, kitchen implements, weather, kind of which we did, types of holidays, fruit, drinks, beards, male jewellery, organs of the body, musical instruments, armies in history, household chore, book, film, condiment/herb, flower, male names, female names, swear word, space mission, swimming style, parental chastisement, quiz show in history, country, illness.
You know what's fucked up?
What?
Is that in like the 15 minutes it took your dad to come up with those,
Yeah.
he got some better episodes than ones we ever came up with.
Yeah.
Like, in the entire time that we've,
you know, favourite...
male jewellery. What a great...
favourite, you know, to be fair, I would have happily done an episode on Space Mission. That could have been interesting. I don't know if we did many space-themed episodes. I really like space. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
We never did favourite illness.
Favorite illness. Again, that was another one that kind of hit the
really is the crown jewel of
the pandemic era on that one.
But how does that episode go? Like, what was he thinking? That's the last one he put on that list before he thought, no, I'll send that in. He said, I've tweeted my recommendation and we'll do some more occasionally. And I responded, oh, cool. Cheers, Dad. Glad you liked it.
Favorite illness would have been a tough one. I feel.
Go on, mate. Favorite illness? What are you thinking?
Off the top of my head, favorite illness probably the bubonic plague.
Good one. I'm gonna go with that dancing virus. Remember when everyone started dancing?
Plague, yeah.
And like people were just dancing too much. Yeah, I'll go with that one. There you go. Now we don't need to do the episode. Right. So that's the context. Yeah, going into this, we still need to sync our audio. Do you want to sync for last time?
Yeah, I guess so.
I want you to do an intro. I want you to do a retro intro. I want you to do the classic. I want you to.
Hey everyone.
Go on.
Welcome to Playing Favorites.
Oh come on! It's the last one. Give it a bit of welly. I just cut it out. Mace doing a massive cough.
I've been doing this the whole time.
I know, but come on, bit of welly,
I've been dying.
Bit of spunk, bit of drive. Come on.
Shut up.
It's the last one.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Playing Favorites, podcast in which I and my good friend Harry talk about our favorites on a variety of different topics. My favorite color is
make it that one of the
salmon.
No, make it the shape. Okay.
Did I do that before?
I don't know.
Wait, maybe I should. Wait, didn't I say that the gimmick was that in the last episode I was going to do my actual favorite?
Your actual favorite color and your actual favorite animal. Yes.
Yeah.
What's your favorite color? Do it. Your favorite color
is purple.
Is purple.
My favorite animal is. Oh damn! This is a tough one. It's changed over time. Probably crows. I really like crows.
Crows.
Yeah.
Did we already do those? Maybe.
Used to be penguins. And wolves.
Just to let everyone know that there are the most disgusting noises coming out of May.
I know.
I feel like you're dying. Like
I am.
This is the last episode.
As soon as we finish recording, I'm gonna drop dead.
Well, hopefully, I mean, I don't know how long this episode is going to take us.
God,
but should we talk about what we're doing for the finale of Playing Favorites? Something we workshopped a lot. Something we thought about a lot. How do we end it?
So we're going to talk about our favorite thing.
Yeah.
For us, we're talking about our top 10. For the rest of you,
that's the selling. But you got to go in on that. That is what the episode is going to be. We're going through our top 10
favorite things.
We've also got the people's favorites at some point. It's quite a difficult one to do. Like, I did think about doing like play a record, but it's like things that have broken records.
Yeah,
UK's favorite things.
The world records of everything.
In a way, this entire thing kind of is playing God. The segment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're destroying the universe, and these 20 things get to stay.
The entire universe is going to be destroyed. All that remains is whatever we decide.
Yeah, the things that we choose. That's kind of I always like that. It's the end of the universe, not playing favourites, and we have to decide. Now, mate, but the thing is, who's going to start off? Who's going to kick it? This is it.
I mean...
So, what a great question.
Well,
Thank
Harry,
you for asking it.
Do you think you could guess any of my top 10?
I might have a go at number 1. We'll see.
Okay.
However, mate, like because obviously whoever goes second gets to do the last favourite.
Oh, that's
final
true.
favourite.
It's the final favourite,
right? And so it's like, oh well, okay. It's quite a big thing. Can we just decide that between us? We'd be here all day, arguing who should get it.
You want to flip a coin?
I don't want to flip a coin, mate.
What do you want to do?
We've been doing polls.
Okay, I know. Okay.
We've been doing polls since episode 4. The first 3 episodes, the original trilogy, never got listener polls on Twitter for who had the better favourite. Also, we just forgot to do it for weather phenomena. But I've got here then 41, I think this will be, polls.
Mm-hmm.
I started, the entire time we've been playing favourites, I've been keeping track. I've totted them up into wins, draws, and losses.
Mm-hmm.
Tim and Maria both drew their polls. Fran lost hers.
Sorry, Fran.
I
won.
Lost 14.
Yeah.
Drew 6.
Yeah. And we did like 40 episodes, so
and won 20. I lost 21, drew 6, and won 13. So you won overall 20-13 on the polls. Which is surprising because you didn't win a poll until episode 10.
Yeah, it took me a while, and then I realised I had to, really play to the audience.
Also, until like episode 40, you'd been voting on the poll, which I hadn't been doing. It's mostly true. I hadn't voted on any of them until you said that you had.
Wow.
So there are some that are won by one vote. That would have gone into the draw pack.
We don't need to worry about that too much.
Moralistically, I think I take this one. But anyway. Do you want to go first, or do you want to go second?
I'll go second then.
So you're gonna steal the final favorite. Wow, okay,
that's gonna be very funny.
That's good. I like it when you tell me things are gonna be funny ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I have time to prepare. Okay, in that case, well, that means I'm kicking us off then. My 10th favorite thing. I mean, God, I really because to me, I treated this like a thought experiment as well. I was like, if I genuinely try to establish this, not just for the sake of the gimmick of the podcast, I'm going to remove the whimsy and go really serious about it and, think. Interestingly, when I was making my big list, the very first thing I thought of that was the first thing on my big list of things that I liked was lasagna, which didn't make it onto the 5 or 10. But it made it through quite a few rounds of revision. I think it got to like round 3 or something. But
I might put lasagna on mine.
Oh, last minute edits. Ooh, poached lasagna. But
that sounds gross.
Well, maybe we could try it together, May, because my 10th favourite thing is social eating.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like it's very quickly we're going to figure out how we both went around.
How we went about it. Yeah.
How many conceptual things are there?
It's really interesting because you've gone for social eating. And that is something that I utterly despise.
Really?
It's not entirely true. I don't like eating in front of people. I don't like the idea of people watching me eat. I know that's not what people are doing when you're, socially eating.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I like eating in peace. I say that we're literally going to a buffet later.
Yeah. We're going to be socially eating tonight.
That's fine. I'll live.
Because the thing is... I think that social eating to me it's not just having dinner with your family. That's not really what I mean by it. Yeah. It's we did the hot pot recently where, it's eating stuff for a lot of us and we're all trying it and we're all, you had some of this. Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm thinking about when we went to that sushi restaurant a little while ago and we did this sort of endless, buffet thing where they keep bringing you food. We're all picking the things we want. They bring it to the table. Everyone has a little bit. Oh, you tried that? Oh, what's this? Who ordered this one? Oh my goodness. And it becomes the topic of conversation. You're all sharing in this experience of food. Food's something which comes up a few times on my list because it unites all of us. Food is, I think, the ultimate thing, in that everyone, for better or for worse in a lot of cases, has opinions on food. It brings everyone together, and I think social eating really crystallizes that.
No, I think it's a fair one.
Yeah, there's number 10 for me. Number 10 for you?
My number 10 is I'm upset that it's on here, but it has to be on here.
Okay.
My number 10 is video games.
Wow. Gaming. That was one of the ones I would have guessed for number 1.
No, not number 1. No,
okay.
My list gets a bit more avant-garde as we go up. So,
okay, guys, that's just me. Okay.
So as we slowly climb, there's it was favorite thing. There's a lot of really important things. So I had to put video games on there. I like video games.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Ultimately,
but I think there's some things that are more favorited.
Yeah, you're pitching this really negatively. It's your 10th favorite.
Thing. It's my 10th favorite thing. Yeah, they're really important to me. Like I spend if you were to pick a random time in the day and guess what I was doing, it's probably either playing a video game or sleeping. Sleeping's not in my top 10, although it could have made it now that I'm thinking about it.
Sleeping, I think that made it onto one of my shortlists.
But I like gaming. I'm a gamer. I like to game.
Yeah, that's great. They're a pretty great thing. They are kind of just I think about the way that old people look at video games, this idea of it's like magic. You're telling the thing on the TV what to do.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? Like the fact,
it's pretty wild,
and how they've grown from Pong to fucking Elden Ring. Like we do kind of take them for granted, but no, they are something great and something to be shared and something to be appreciated. And they're an art form, and that is good. The concept that there are many artistic things that are on my list, and video games, they're good. Anyway, number 9 for me, which is definitely not in your top 10.
Okay,
but I just think of bonkers. Something we spoke about recently actually is dreams.
Okay, no, I get that.
I think they're fucking insane.
You're right. Absolutely.
I said this to you the other day. They seem like something out of fantasy. Sort of crazy
it's like
visions
prophecy,
Yeah, I can understand how fucking people out of history
given the gift of sight by Apollo.
Right? Like, you go to sleep, and sleep kind of makes sense. I mean, it didn't make, any of my sort of finalists, but okay, you're resting your brain is having this sort of cool-off period, because it's a very intensive, it's great. The brain itself, is mad. And while it's doing that, shit just goes wild. From your
everything's just
subjective point of view.
You're just losing it in the process.
And it's like you live out from your point, because your dreams feel real to an extent. Granted, not quite as real as reality, but
when you're in them,
it might as well be real.
Yeah,
and they just all the wackiest shit that could never happen in real life is happening. It's not even because if dreams were limited to the boundaries of reality, okay, fine. But if you the fact that you can be on Mars and flying, and you're talking to your school teacher who's also a dragon who it's
sometimes literally just the most random shit happens.
Yeah.
Literally, you have no, barring some exceptions, you have no control over what is happening.
Yeah. It's just this weird, crazy, I keep going to describe it as a fever dream. But that is the whole point. Right?
That is it, yeah.
Yeah, so, dreams I just think are absolutely mental, so.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
Yeah, number 9 for you?
My number 9, right, we're gonna get into the avant-garde a little bit here.
Already, okay.
Already, yeah.
I'm happy about this. I'm happy that yours isn't just, I like sandwiches.
Yeah, I was worried that yours was gonna be like that, and I was gonna look like a weirdo.
No, good.
My number 9 is intelligence. Okay.
Right. Oh no. Right. Okay. Well,
and I don't mean being smart. Okay. I mean the capacity of living things to understand the world around us.
This is so strange. Okay. No, not strange in a bad way, but.
Mm-hmm. And I'm including because part of the thing that came to me when I was making this list was I wanted a way to include intelligence as because I wanted to put intelligent animals, but then I was no, it's actually just the capacity for understanding in living creatures is a thing that I like that exists. I'm a fan of that.
Definitely.
I'm glad
from your biased human point of view.
Yeah, because I was thinking about octopuses or octopi. I was like, man, they're like smart. They go around, they like know some shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They know things that we can't know.
Yeah, or like, and they will process reality in a way that is so alien to us. One of my favorite, an episode that like I wanted this to be my favorite idiom, but it didn't quite work. So I wanted to do an episode about like pieces of wisdom. But have you ever heard the saying, if a lion could speak, we could not understand it? That like, its views, its version of reality would be so far removed, we just couldn't, there would be no common ground.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting to think about, and intelligence, I think this is really interesting because I totally sign off on that. However, I wouldn't have gone with intelligence. I think for me, I would have gone with sapience or sentience or something a little bit more, I think intelligence has connotations of, computation or...
but that too.
Things like that.
I'm glad.
Okay.
Like,
I like
that chimpanzees can do math.
Yeah, they do that little number game where they...
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's good. Number 8 for me is one that... This is where I feel like I'm going to... Okay, disclaimer. The things on this list are not all good all the time. Actually, mostly from here on out, they are all good all the time.
Right.
However, I think this is one where the old
natural disasters.
No, the old people are going to hate me for it. The young people are going to hate me. Everyone's going to hate me for it.
Okay.
But number 8 on this list
Fried
is the internet.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
that seems fair.
I feel like a lot of people straight away go towards the constant doom scrolling, the fake news, the social media hate, the cyberbullying.
Yeah.
The older people go to, you're spending too much time on TikTok. It's polluting the minds of the young. But how much of your life, my life, anyone's lives, any social movement, any connectivity, any brand, any form of entertainment would not exist without the internet?
I think there are a lot of civil rights movements that occurred before the internet. You realize that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But think about, it's this idea of there's no more racism in the world. People talk about this idea of there's more racism. It's getting worse and worse. Is that the case, or has there always been ridiculous amounts of racism, and now we're hearing about it?
I definitely agree
now
with that.
Now we're seeing it.
That, the internet has not made anything... Well, it has made some things worse. But it hasn't made people, worse in general. It just makes it so that, people with bad opinions can be expressed globally rather than isolated in their own communities. On the contrary, it can also make people who are, putting good into the world have a position where they can do that globally.
Yeah. But that's the thing, and I think it becomes the large scale stuff like we were just talking about is amplified, but then also on the individual basis, we wouldn't be friends without the internet. How many people would you know? We could, realistically. Not really. I mean, when you think about it, definitely we would still know the... Actually, no, we wouldn't. Most of my friends that I met to meet their friends, to meet their friends, to meet you, were people who knew each other through the internet. Who joined a Minecraft server or things like that. We wouldn't know Maria, a guest on this show, if very true. For the internet. I think it's that never would have happened. Correct. Which is very significant. I think it's unreasonable to suggest that we would have been friends without the internet. I think we could have. I think there's no way. I think I think it's way more. How do you mean there's no way? We live in the same city. It's not that unreasonable to suggest we would have met anyway. How many people live in Nottingham? What would my connection be to you? I'm not saying it definitely would have happened. I'm saying it's not unreasonable to suggest it could have. On the other hand, there's other people that I know that I absolutely would have never met if it weren't for the internet. That's more my point. I think me and you is you're cutting it. That's a small scale one. I'm wondering. I'm wondering cut it big on this one. If you've got the full story on that, because it really doesn't work. But you think about people. Yourself. If we didn't have the internet, you couldn't play games with your girlfriend. You couldn't there'd be no video chat. There'd be no what happens with the pandemic? What if we didn't have the internet during the pandemic? What happens then? A world without the internet ultimately is so alien to what we have.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the fundamental nature of it, right? Is that whatever world that would exist if the internet hadn't would mean it would be so different from our own. Did what I just say make any sense? I felt like I just had a. Have you ever had a dream that you could be anything you?
Bruno Mars is just gay. Or whatever. I understand what you're saying. And like, I think it is really easy to think of all the negative things and all the misinformation and all of that stuff. But I really do believe that the internet has changed the world for the better. Like on the large scale, all things considered, it does introduce a lot of negative factors. But the amount of good, the amount of charity, the amount of lives changed for the better, across all things, the macro, the micro, everything, online banking, fucking, just everything, the connectivity as a whole, I think is one of the greatest things to have ever existed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that is a really controversial one, but I feel like I just couldn't.
I don't think it's that controversial.
I don't know. I mean, like, especially for like, again, even the nature of the conversation we've had about it, I think it's not like socially.
There'd be no podcast
or intelligence.
Consider
there would be
that.
No playing favorites. We wouldn't be having this conversation.
And now there is going to be no playing favorites and internet. So really, it's a lose-lose.
Well, here's the thing. But if the universe is about to die, thank God I got the internet on our playing God list of things that will get to make it. Otherwise,
that's true. Yeah.
How are people going to listen to this episode? Anyway, we've dwelled on that one a lot. Number 8 for you.
Number 8. My number 8. Okay, we're leaving the realm of avant-garde for a moment.
Okay.
My new number 8 is tabletop RPGs. So we're talking
better than intelligence in your eyes.
Yeah, I do think that.
Okay.
You're talking D&D.
Yeah,
that's the only one I'm going to mention on the podcast. I could mention more, but like it doesn't matter.
Know that May knows things.
Yeah, I know more of them.
Yeah.
Ones that I prefer to D&D, but
like Pathfinder.
Nope, not really. Pathfinder's a bit too crunchy, and it's essentially just D&D.
Okay.
But I like sitting down and rolling dice.
I like sitting down.
I do like sitting down. Also,
did that make the list? Did sitting down make the list?
Sitting down didn't quite cut the list, unfortunately.
Okay.
Number 11, really.
Unfortunate. But yeah, do people know what tabletop RPGs are?
I assume so. People know what D&D is. I don't like. Everyone's seen Stranger Things now, right?
That's the one, right? That I think has popularized it in recent history. But,
so like,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I like. It's a nice, community experience. You get to play with your friends, rolling some dice, making shit up. It's like Dreams, but normal.
But with dice and numbers.
Yeah, you get to do math.
I think this is one of those things where it's great because I also like tabletop RPGs, but it really symbolizes our difference in people. In that I like D&D for the role playing and the story.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, I know you like that. But I don't like numbers. I don't want numbers.
You don't. You want to do like that thing you do as like an 8-year-old, where you just like stand around and you go, "My laser beam.
Yeah,
I have an anti-laser beam shield."
And I know you gravitate towards systems and
I like in my friend groups, I'm known as someone who is what we in the business call a min-maxer, which essentially means that many people believe that I suck all the fun out of games.
Yes.
When really that's where I get a lot of my fun. Is just like
you're a fun vampire.
I like to turn things into when I'm making my character, I want my character to be good at something.
Yeah.
Even when I'm making a bad character, like someone who's intentionally fucking useless, I'll make them I will try my best to make them as bad as they can be.
Yeah.
Rather than, putting the, just being like, this number's low. I tune my characters to how I imagine them in my head. And if I imagine my character to be like, really, he's super strongest person on the planet, then I'll make them that strong. But if I'm like, they're also really fucking stupid, then...
I really think that we did the wrong degrees. You did an English Lit degree, and I went to do computer science.
I like English literature.
I know, that's the thing, right? That's what I can't wrap my head around.
This isn't what computer science is, though. Computer science
it's
isn't
deconstruction, and
it's not you don't make. I don't want to do that for like a system. I want to make a guy. I want a funny guy who goes like, I'm an orc warrior.
Yeah, and I assume that's why this is on the list. Is that you like both sides of it. It's, you know, you like the role play and the characters.
Yeah, I do like the story element. If I didn't like the story element, I would just like play more video games. I would
you'd play Nim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, as well as the systems and the sort of logic and the strategy and things like that. It's two sides to the coin, and you like both sides of the coin. Is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Hence why it's on the list. Yeah.
Yes. Very true.
Makes a lot of sense, and I can get where you're coming from.
Thank you.
To move up to number 7. This one is I think a lot of the avant-garde ones on my list got cut out because I sort of thought like they could be represented by something.
I get that.
A single concept or an idea or something I've encountered. And this is probably one of two more conceptual ones. But like, well, number 7 for me is colour. Like the concept of colour. I can't even really explain it. You can't explain colour. There's almost nothing to say about it, but fuck, isn't it good? Like, vibrancy and color theory and color palettes and the way colors mesh, you know, both in art and in the world. Like, sometimes I like stop and will just look at whatever's in front of me, and I'll see, you know, the browny, reddy, beigey houses, and the darker roofs, and the green of nature, and the blue of the sky. Shit that artists work for years and lifetimes to try and recreate aptly. And it's just right there in front of you in colour. And it's like, fucking, this is incredible.
In colour.
Yeah. Like, it's absolutely incredible. And it's something that, like, it's one of those really fundamental things that you can sort of trace down into, like, the primal parts of it. Like, colouring books, you know, like, how do they, like, you know, they're just good, they're nice, some people like them, you know, it's just, you're introducing colour into the thing, it's satisfying to, like, fill out all the little spaces and shapes with colour, and, like, you know, would it be as interesting if you were just colouring them all in black? I suppose it would, you know, sort of feel satisfying to fill in all the shapes, but would it be as visually appealing? Well, I don't know. You just have a big black shape at the end, like across all areas, across all, like, you know, the way we sort things. I've got Google Keep, my notes.
Sorry to any colorblind viewers.
Yeah,
listeners. I guess.
I really, like, I don't know how to address that really. Like,
you're really missing out.
I don't know. Like, I don't want it to make it seem like that. But also I don't want to go like, I feel so sorry for you. Like, you know, I suppose it's one of those things where, like, I assume to someone who's colorblind or partly colorblind or entirely colorblind, like, there would be in the visual world other areas that appeal, textures, patterns.
Sorry to any blind people.
And you can kind of, you know, keep sort of one step removing it. To blind people, there'll be things about the auditory world, which is what makes up there, and the sensory world, the way things feel, or things like that. And you could sort of identify.
I could keep going.
Yeah, and you can shift, but you can always shift the paradigm as much as is needed. Because to me, color is, you know, one of, I mean, like, let's be real, like, it's mainly sight and hearing for a lot of sighted and audited audio.
A lot of auditors.
Yeah, it's what makes up a lot of our perception of reality. And so, for me, colour is the one that really stands out there, and that I am drawn to, and I think is fucking amazing. Like, and also, I can't wrap my head around that. Like, mantis shrimps, they've got like fucking 6 times the colour codes
way
in
more
their
cones.
eyes. They can see, like, the colours that we can't even think of a colour that doesn't exist. Like, what? Like,
okay,
like,
it's a tough one. It's a tough
octarine
act that you've had me do here.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, you know, it's just it's just one of these fundamental things that I'm like, wow, like, isn't it fucking good?
It's gonna be hard for me to think of a color that doesn't exist. Yeah.
Do you like color? Thoughts on the concept of color?
I'm a fan of color. Yeah. No,
you're doing your skeptical voice. You're doing your.
No, I mean, I agree. I'm not skeptical. I am a fan of color. You're reading too far into my voice. Like, I think color is good.
What do you like about color?
I like all the colours. I don't know. I kind of like the sciencey aspects of colour, though. I like the like because color, it has a lot of like to do in space. You know, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, true. Yeah, red shifting and blue shifting, and
yeah,
the fact that it's all just like it's on the same spectrum as like the radio.
Yeah, like
that's kind of mad, right?
It's fucked up. Yeah,
like it's all just waves bouncing around.
Like if I ever broke my leg, they're gonna blast it with color.
Like what? Like it's insane, right? Like it's just mad. Like X-rays on there, gammas on there. Like the fact that God, I really got myself that radio thing. Radio, this thing that we use for sound, is on the same wavelength as color, which is what we use for sight.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It's kind of fucked up.
Could you? Is this an art moment where could you take a painting
paint with radio
and convert it into radio waves?
I have no idea.
Maybe, I don't know.
You have to ask a scientist.
Oh well, make the Playing Favorites logo as a sound. Include it in the show.
It probably isn't going to sound very good.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, no, because it's like with the black hole thing that came out recently. The NASA released a sound. You can, yeah. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take that bit of audio and convert it into an image. You doing that just then. But like you can shift it. You can pitch shift it as much as you want. So I don't know. Maybe the Playing Favorites logo, I'll make it really bassy and low, so it'll sound really ominous. Or maybe put it somewhere in the middle and it'll sound all like. Bing, boom, bing, boom, boom. Colour. It's good. What's your number 7?
My number 7 is coziness. The concept of being a cozy person. Being in a cozy zone. Chilling out. Just getting some cozy time in.
Okay.
Being all sleepy. This is on your list, isn't it? I can tell.
No. Blankets made top 20 for the same reasons.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But there is something that represents something literally adjacent to what you're talking about.
Literally adjacent.
Yeah,
I've got to open my dictionary.
God, that joke works on like 3 different levels. It's good. Yeah, okay. No, coziness. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know. Do you like? Yeah, it's good. I agree. Like you can be cozy by yourself.
I'm glad you agree.
You can. It's just a nice. It's like one of these like mentally warming. It makes your brain feel nice. The idea of
just being cozy,
and like thinking about
being a sleepy. Yeah,
I know it's interesting. We can almost like map out your brain here because I know you like winter.
Yeah,
and so like
that was in there. It was in there. Yeah, I was thinking about like being all bundled up in like by the fire in winter time. Just
that's interesting.
Being sleepy.
I'm curious. Does any of your remaining list have we spoken about it on any previous episodes of Playing Favorites?
I have. Yes, definitely.
Okay, how many? But how much?
Okay. I can't reveal too much.
No, don't. Yeah.
It's not like, one of my favorites from one of the episodes.
Okay.
It's not come up.
That's fine. Well,
actually, one of them has.
Okay.
But
as an episode topic or as a thing in an episode?
As it was part of an episode topic, yeah.
Okay. I have both an episode topic and I don't know if I want to reveal this early on in the episode, but my favorite thing is something that has come up in an episode at some point.
Interesting.
We'll get to it. But yeah, no, coziness is because it also manifests in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Because like it can be finally, crashing into a log cabin to get the fire on and fucking get a hot chocolate going, or it can be
into a log cabin.
Yeah, I don't think you come out of a snowstorm or something. Is that not your perfect idea of coziness? Is just sending an 18-wheeler careening through a log cabin in the woods?
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Like how did you get that 18-wheeler into the woods anyway? Like, or it can be like sitting, with a significant other on the sofa, when it's raining out and playing Mario Party. Like, it comes in so many different forms.
A lot of my coziness is like, being in bed with Fran, being like, we'll just be like watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, and it's so nice. Yeah, no.
That's cozy.
That's great. Yeah, good stuff. Number 6, we're approaching the halfway mark.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My number 6.
Oh, no. Why do you sigh before everyone you do?
Well, because, like, I know... It's mainly because I'm anticipating your reaction. Like, I think... Because I could never tell.
What are you so afraid of?
This is what I'm so afraid of. The fact that 0.999 recurring is equal to 1. That is my number 6.
That's your number 6. Right. Yeah. Okay. Now I can get where you side now.
Fuck off. It feels like we live in physics.
Do the math.
We live in a universe. I'll do the math in a second. We live in a universe with physical constraints. Okay, and all the maths and all the physics and all the chemistry, it all ties together. Biology, when you distill it down enough, becomes chemistry, which is part of physics, and blah, blah, blah. The universe exists, light, it's come up in some things we've just discussed, right? And then we have this little quirk of mathematics where, say, okay, I'll do this as briefly and as simply as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say x equals 0.99999 recurring forever.
Yeah.
That would mean that 10x is 9.99999 going on forever. We subtract x from 10x, we get 9x equals 9.9 recurring minus 0.9 recurring. 9x is equal to 9. Divide both sides by 9, x equals 1. But hang on a minute, at the start of this, x equaled 0.9 recurring. What the fuck? It feels like a glitch left in by the developers. Like, it feels like... it has its own Wikipedia page. I was reading it before the show. Like... how, and there's all kinds of, that's like the simplest algebraic proof. There's all kinds of other proofs that enable this to be a thing, but like, it feels like this should be a fallacy, or it should be, oh no, that isn't how algebra works actually, or no, you're misunderstanding what equals means, which is kind of part of it, but it is true because, and like when I was reading the Wikipedia page, yeah, it's because there is no space left between 0.9 recurring and 1. There's nothing left. There's no gap. Therefore, they are equal. Like, and granted, yes, it is the same with 1.1 recurring is equal to 1.2. Yes, but that's not quite as, I don't know, strange sounding. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I can get why you chose it.
Does it not fascinate you? Do you not find it crazy?
Yeah, I think I would have chosen something different to represent the same concepts. Like, I would have said like, my favorite thing is like, weird math.
Yeah, I think this is a theme of my list. Is that this is almost
you're
actually
choosing
a champion
specific examples
of larger concepts. Yeah,
I get that.
I just find it absolutely insane. It doesn't feel like it should be real. It feels like because like one divided by 3 is a third. A third is 0.3 recurring. 0.9 recurring divided by 3. A third of that is also 0.3 recurring. Like what? It's not real. It's like it's a bug. Baby. It's a bug. It's a glitch in the fucking Matrix.
Harry's having a breakdown. We live in a simulation.
Like, it's not. How does this happen? Like, we live in a world so cleanly defined by the gravity and air resistance and thermodynamics and friction and energy being emitted as sound, light, heat, gravitational potential energy, elastic potential energy, small nuclear, weak nuclear, electromagnetism, and yet 0.9 recurring equals 1? Like, did some tired programmer just think like, oh, we'll just leave this one in. It doesn't actually affect any of the what?
Harry's having a breakdown.
I don't know, man. It's really all I've got to say about it. I just can't wrap my head around how this exists.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. Just, yeah. And go on. Your number 6 is love.
My number 6 is actually the creation of content.
Really?
Yeah. I enjoy it. Shockingly. Person who does this a lot.
Yeah.
I enjoy making things for other people to enjoy. Like there's that's just something I like to do.
Yeah.
It feels like a big step down from you going on a massive tirade against against math, for math.
Yeah.
And then I come in and I go, I like it, smiley face.
Oh no, it's so nice, mate. Oh, this is good. This is good.
Why? Yeah.
Because it's like
might surprise people,
Definitely, and I agree, and I love that for the reason it is so lovely. Like,
did it make your list, Harry?
It didn't make my list. It didn't make my original things I like list, but it definitely should have. But no, I completely and wholeheartedly agree. It's like, I remember seeing a comment, of all things, right? I can't believe this is like where the sound is going. I saw like a post on r/yogscast once,
Okay.
which is a bunch of content creators, whatever. And it was a guy talking about a story, a really horrible, traumatic time he'd been through involving him and his girlfriend in the hospital and illness, and how making YouTube videos, because he was inspired by the Yogscast, this group of people, was an outlet for him and allowed him to make people smile, and was a nice, positive thing to share with the world. And it was like a little, happy smiley face post. And then one of the newer Yogscast members, his name's like the Spiffing Brit or something.
Yeah.
He's famous like breaking games on YouTube. He just left a comment that like really made me smile. He said like it's almost word for word. I remember it was like, "Hello, fellow internet stranger. You keep powering on, my friend, and good luck making content for others. It's one of the most fulfilling things that any human can do." And I thought that was really nice, because it is, because it's like at its core, as much as it can get bogged down in like, I guess like you could pin it to narcissism, or that's loving the sound of your voice,
entirely.
Look, I'm trying. Maybe look.
Yeah, you have to bring it around. Like I'll accept it.
It doesn't have to be.
I love that there are I'm inside of people's heads constantly. They're thinking about me.
Okay, I guess I can be part of it, but also, ultimately you're sharing joy and entertainment and laughter and intrigue with others.
Yeah.
And isn't that fucking wonderful? Isn't that what it's all about? Like,
it's good. I'd agree.
And so that's, no, I completely sign for that. I have very little to say about it, but I can't believe that made your list. That is like, I could have never guessed, not in a million years. That's so nice.
It's pretty funny.
All
right, what's your number 5, Harry?
Number 5, halfway. Kind of touched on it. Thing that I like that you'll probably hear it and you'll go, yeah, Harry, that sounds like something Harry'd like. Number 5, the moon.
Okay, yeah.
Isn't it fucking good? Like, it's just.
I like the moon.
Yeah, all those planets out there and ourselves, they got loads of them.
Which one?
The moon. We've got one of them. We've got the moon, and it sits up there in the sky, and has been a companion to what every human who's ever lived. It's been up there, And we fucking went to it at one point, by the way, out of spite.
Well, we didn't.
Like, oh no, we didn't actually. Yeah, it was a bunch of dudes in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, but it's just the fact that like it has been there and exists, and the poetry behind it, and the sentiment behind it, and the color and the imagery, and as a symbol of nighttime, as a symbol of peace, and as a symbol of tranquility, and as a cool space thing. It's like a bunch of moon rock floating in the sky. We can look up and point at it, and there's a man in the moon. Yeah, like
Can you believe?
Like, and it just comes up. It pops up in culture. There's a song I really like called "From Me, the Moon." Like, it's beautiful. And there's one thing I really like about the moon, and this does kind of slip into the hydrogen will begin to think about itself crack. Yeah. But like whenever you look up at the moon, night or day.
I haven't seen the moon in a while.
Oh, you should check in. It's nice. But whenever you look up at the moon,
I can't imagine it'll look too different from the last time I saw it. But
it's still worthwhile. Because whenever you look at it, there are X amount of other people in the world, out of just under 8 billion of us, also looking at the moon. And we're all connected in that moment. All of you people. You don't even know it. You don't know who those people are, what kind of people are, where they are in the world. But you are connected through that moment.
They are also looking at the moon, yeah.
Yeah, of looking at the moon together.
A lot of people looking at the moon.
If you're afraid, we can look together. It's lovely. I love the moon wholeheartedly. It went up and down the stairs. By the way, there was a lot of dancing around on this top 10 for me.
Dancing around on the moon.
Yeah, the moon, I think, at its lowest was number 9, at its most was number 2.
Damn.
But it's
really high up.
Yeah, as we enter top 5, I'm happy with that. You're right. To be fair, mate, you're right. The moon is really high up. Yeah, you're not wrong. Right. What's your number 5? Top 5, the brick medal.
My number 5 is I couldn't figure out how to word this one. But I've put the pursuit of goodness. And I don't mean I mean goodness in many different ways.
Not as an exclamation.
Yeah, oh goodness.
You got distracted halfway through writing it. Pursuit of goodness. Yeah, no, okay.
In simultaneously, so for me, this often comes to pass in terms of like, you know, when I try something, when I attempt to learn something or, you know, introduce myself to something, I will put my effort in to become capable at it, right? Like, I believe that there is inherent value in attempting to improve oneself and one's abilities.
Right, okay. So are you saying specifically not like moral goodness?
That too. That's another element of it. I think that
okay.
comes under improving oneself. I think that fits into like, you know, I think every day that you wake up, you should try to be a better person or
all round.
Yeah. Than the one you were the day before. And you know, not every day is that going to work out. You know, I'm not saying, you know, every day you have to be better all the time or else.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's just, it's more of a passive, you know, increase to your own ability. Because for me, that's always a thing that I mean, you know, for me, this is entirely a personal thing as well. Because, like, I know, you know, a lot of people have their own opinions on this. But
this whole thing we're doing is subjective, entirely, so painfully subjective.
But you know, because for me, like, I have a tendency to like learn new things a lot.
Yeah,
and part of that is because, like, you know, it's about the self-improvement element where I'm like, you know, I now have a new ability. I've got a new power, a new trait that I can use. Yeah. So, you know, it's that's why whenever like I'm learning something, I look to the experts. I'm always looking at tutorials, learning how to like, how do I do this? How do I get better at whatever I am doing?
Yeah. That's really interesting. You've really, yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't know. I've got a lot of thoughts about this because I feel like you've really linchpinned it in the fact that I feel like even though I like your justification that it's the idea of being a better person all round.
Yeah.
I like that they're connected in that way, but it really feels like two things to me in that, like, you know, skill building and also morality.
I do think that they're two independent elements. However,
but you've linked them in a clever way.
I think that morality ties into a more kind of, you know, personal sense of ability, right?
That's the thing, that's the bit that's really, and like, again, it's like a niggling thought in my mind, because what you've spoken about there mostly is like the idea of but it almost weirdly ties back to me to the conversation we had about the internet, in that, well, everyone thinks they're the good guy. Everyone thinks they're doing right, and so the idea of, like, you know, the pursuit of goodness there looks like different things to different people.
Yes.
And so it's
a hard thing to measure. Like, that's why I think in that terms it would be easier to refer to it as, like, become more compassionate each day that you go by, you know, consider the world around you.
You can make goodness be things like empathy, and understanding.
The thing is that goodness is obviously just an entirely vague term. It doesn't really mean anything.
True, which works both for and against you there, I think. But I do like it as conceptually, I think that is an interesting thing. I also
self-improvement, I guess, would be you know, another way to
I like the pursuit of goodness though as a concept. I think it's, and I also enjoy the sort of building out my skill tree.
Exactly.
Well, now we're into almost within touching distance of the podium.
That's true.
Number 4 has moved around a lot for me, and it's kind of representative of a few different things. Number 4 for me is an episode we've done, superheroes.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I think one, they're cool. Like, it's, you know, some really cool, interesting, creative ideas. You know, characters who have really compelling stories, really relatable stories, interesting powers and interesting uses of those powers, and that's really clever and good narrative, and it's representative of all those things. But then also this idea that I find myself slightly enamored by, of like, superhero stories are real stories, real classic tales, just exaggerated with nice colors and crazy powers, but ultimately teaches about human nature and the desire to do good, the pursuit of goodness. People overcoming strife. Superheroes often have a tragic backstory and come from victims of circumstance and things like that, and overcoming that and using their situation to drive them forward and to grow as people. And often that manifests as beating up the bad guys. But even in cases like Spider-Man, it manifests as helping out the neighborhood and, teaching a kid, about their homework and, broadcasting compassion.
It's the
I think these classic stories. And then I think as well, God, I don't even remember where I heard it now. I think I must have mentioned it at some point. The idea that the really classic superhero stories, your Batman, your Superman, your Spider-Man, are almost like a modern-day Shakespeare. They've been done so many times. They've been, the Batman origin, and has been done enough. Superman's been done enough. Spider-Man has been done enough. They're these well-known stories, but how many modern Batman versions have there been? 6 or 7, and all of the actors bring their own idea and their own takes. And is it the silly, goofy one? Is it the brooding emo of Robert Pattinson? Is it the businessman of Christian Bale? Is it this kind of douchebaggy Ben Affleck one? It's the same story, but it's these different interpretations. On the well-known stories and ideas. I think it covers so much of humanity and human culture. It's great. It's just really interesting and cool. And the concept of superheroes, super people.
I get it.
You like superheroes, right?
I'm a fan. That's
good.
It. I like superheroes. I like superheroes for many of the same reasons.
Yeah. Do you agree to the depth that I'm saying? Would you agree with that whole Shakespeare comparison? Or?
I think kind of. I think superheroes are simply at the moment they're our most popular kind of presentation of a lot of cultural ideas, particularly in
they're in.
I mean, in movies at the moment they're very popular. I sound like a 30-year-old then.
A 30-year-old, yeah.
Late 30s,
Oh, okay. I see.
But I like superheroes. I've read my fair share of comics.
It isn't to discount that 20 years from now are they going to be as in they sort of went out of fashion in the sort of 90s a little bit, or did they, or was that just in comics?
Really, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. They kind of were popular in comics from 30s to the 60s, and then began transitioning into other media, and then the TV shows.
Transformers.
There you go. TV shows kind of took off, and then from early 2000s onwards, you've kind of got moved. They kind of just, have been omnipresent since their inception, just sort of, shifting through formats in a way.
I'm trying to think if I can rejiggle my top 10 in any way to get giant robots on here.
Yeah. Superheroes is my number 4.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. My number 4. So my number 4 is also, weirdly enough, something that came up on a previous episode of Playing Favorites.
Oh, okay.
It was not the topic, but it was my favorite, I believe, for...
Oh, Bismuth.
No. What was the episode? It was ways to relax.
Making things.
Yeah, I've put creation, which is tied quite closely to content, obviously, as a favorite.
Yeah,
but
true.
I in this case, I'm referring to quite specifically the act of physical creation, the act of bringing something into the world.
Childbirth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one, content that was more for the consumption of others. This is more art for art's sake, right? Creation for creation's sake, making something
Oscar Wilde
just for the sake of having it. It's my Oscar Wilde moment.
Yeah.
Just having things. Just for me, I've spoken about it at length previously, but I right, I've got all my fucking Warhammer models here. They're all chilling. I got my Gundams over there.
Yeah.
Well, you're not a Gundam, but you are.
No, I'm not. You're right. Am I?
Sorry, I'm not talking to you. I was petting one of my.
You're talking to the listener?
I was petting one of my plastic models there.
Okay. You were having a chronically online moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a bit dusty at the moment, to be honest.
You got a feather duster. I would extremely recommend getting a feather duster.
I don't
if
have
you
a
haven't got
feather
one.
duster, no.
I've got one over there. They're really good.
No, my Sasabi's a bit dusty.
Wasabi's a bit dusty.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Those words sound similar.
Everyone really loves to make that joke whenever I say the word Sasabi.
Because it sounds so similar to wasabi.
You know, Sasabi actually existed before wasabi.
I don't know what wasabi is.
It's a type of giant robot.
Okay.
I also just
wasabi
made
is
that
a
up.
Spice
Like,
paste?
obviously.
Oh, right, okay.
How could How could wasabi have been invented afterwards? It's like a plant.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Is there a wasabi plant?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you grate it.
Whoa. This shit looks fucking... I would not eat this in the forest.
Sure, you don't have to.
Whoa.
Good
okay.
news. Why would you not eat? It just looks like a pineapple.
No, it doesn't.
Or like, it's like a really thin, long pineapple.
Yeah. It looks like a mutant.
It just looks like any other root.
No, it doesn't. This is insane. Least favourite root vegetable.
Yeah.
Confirmed at the 11th hour.
We haven't revealed it yet, but the reason we're killing playing favourites is to create anti-playing favourites.
Yeah. Where we talk about we just do the same topics. It's only 45 episodes. We do our least favourite thing at the end.
God, that would be really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, creation.
Wow.
The act of creation. The art of creation.
Yeah, no, it is a spectacular thing, yeah, to bring something into the world. To create. I hate using the phrase world. To bring something into the world. It really does feel like you're talking about a child there.
Yeah.
But no, to make stuff and to have a thing. And you know what? It is fucking really interesting because something that I'm going to talk about later is very similar. We've had a few, I really like that we've had a few little ships in the night moment. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, where, because there are some really coming up for me. In fact, 2 of my top 3, I think you've kind of touched on.
It's coming up.
However, mate, it's not coming up too quick.
Yeah.
Because you know what? We've got the fucking people's favourites. The last people's favourites.
The last ever.
The thing that I think, by the way, I have to get in there, made playing favourites. I really do think that people's favourites
I think it's the best.
Such a wonderful, wonderful part.
Because, I mean, like, who cares about what we think?
Yeah. To get the difference in opinion, to get people bringing in other stuff and engaging with the show. And oh, I fucking love it. Yeah. So it really does make sense. This is the last time we'll, you know.
Well, I've ranked all the people's favourites in terms of my favourite out of their favourites.
Yeah, I mean, let's just start hearing them. Like, let's.
I haven't done that. That's a lie.
No, I know, but like, let's hear the people's favourites. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
We're gonna start with Cass's. Thank you, Cass, for writing in.
Okay. Thank you.
Cass has come in with Pikachu, the Pokemon, which I think is really cute.
Yeah. Pikachu's nice, aren't they?
I do like Pikachu.
I think it is important to remember that, like, you know, we've obviously sculpted this top 10. We're talking about intelligence and fucking the fundamentals of mathematics. Whereas, like, yeah, there are just really cool, nice, happy things like Pikachu.
Yeah.
Pikachu. They're really cute. And they're a cool little electric mouse. I like mice.
Fan of Pikachu. Pikachu is just a little guy.
Fat Pikachu.
Sometimes Pikachu is a big little
The little
guy,
OG, little Chubchu dude. The original design of Pikachu, who is just a little fat mouse. I love him. And the fact that when they did Gigantamax in Sword and Shield,
they brought him back.
Yeah, he turns into a big fat
chunky
original chunky dude. Look at him. Are you looking at him?
Not currently, no. I know what Pikachu looks like. Though,
come on. It's like the moon. Come on, you've got to. There we go. Now I'm sending you a picture. Don't tie your fingers.
It's too late. I've already googled it now.
Look at him.
I do like Pikachu. They're not my favorite Pokemon. I do think that there's a lot of really cute Pokemon out there.
Do I like OG Pikachu more than Social Eating? Yes. Do I like OG Pikachu more than... No, I'm not actually doing this.
I like Dragonite. He's my favorite Pokemon. For similar reasons. He's just like a guy. I like that he waves.
Yeah, that's true. For similar reasons, really like Poliwhirl.
He delivers the mail.
He does. He's got like a gimmick. Granted, kind of stolen by Delibird later on.
It's true.
I like Poliwhirl because he's wearing gloves.
I like
That's
that Poliwhirl has really far away eyes.
Yeah, he's like a little derpy dude.
Yeah. What about Poliwrath?
Poliwrath loses the gloves, don't they?
No, they still have gloves. They're just
they do,
a bit
they're
meaner,
kind of angry.
a bit angry.
Yeah. The body shape overall, now it doesn't look as... They're not as round.
Round.
Like round
things. The roundness, yeah.
Yeah. Poliwhirl's a little sphere boy.
Just round, yeah. How do you feel about Poliwag?
Fine, I don't like their little mouth.
It is weird that they lose the mouth.
Yeah.
When they evolve.
And then obviously Politoed, which I like, but they're different. They are a different Pokemon.
It is true. I do think that Politoed is better than Poliwrath, though.
Yeah, I'd agree, actually. What are we talking about? Pikachu! Yeah, Pikachu. Yeah, good one.
You've never sounded more like Pikachu than in that moment when you just said Pikachu. You could cut that audio where you just said Pikachu and put that into a Pokemon game. No one would know.
Dub it. Yeah, that's good. In Pokemon Yellow, does Pikachu say Pika Pika?
Yes.
They do, don't they? It's weird, but then they don't do that in later games, right?
Yeah, they do.
Pikachu's cry is saying Pika.
Yeah. Pikachu and Zigzagoon are the only Pokemon with unique Pokemon cries, yep.
Zigzagoon used to be my favourite Pokemon when I was little.
I'm going to fucking double check that now.
Zigzagoon.
It's fucking Bidoof. It's not Zigzagoon.
Bidoof, right, okay.
Oh, my door's open. Yeah, hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta close this door.
Door closing audio? Nice.
I have no idea if any of what I just said about Pokemon cries is true.
I'm glad we had a don't use playing favourites to do your homework moment in the last episode. That's good.
No, it's definitely Bidoof. It's definitely Bidoof.
Okay, right.
Bidoof has a great cry. He goes...
What? The little cough in there as well.
The cough, that was just me. Right, anyway, people's favourite. People's favourite.
Yeah, what else we got?
Maria's posted a good one, but it's going to be hard to describe this to the listener because
I'm
it's
going to close
video.
my eyes. Go. Talk me through it.
So Maria's posted a picture of her cat, Fez.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they're sat, but they're kind of sat like on their back legs and they're like slumped forward. Okay. So they look like they're kind of sitting like a person.
Sat like a bloke. Yeah. Okay.
And they're just kind of zoning out. They're just kind of looking off into the distance.
Okay, I'm seeing it in my mind's eye.
With one of their paws just kind of dangling over their tummy.
So if we imagine like their hind legs as their legs and their front legs as their arms, they're sat like a person. Yeah. Like they're kind of just sat folded over. That is, I'm opening my eyes now. That is great. I love that. That is just so silly. Like
it is a good cat move.
Yeah, I mean, especially enjoying the fact I can hear a dog barking in the background.
Yeah, that's my dog.
In my mind, like in protest of you talking about
cats. Yeah.
But it's just I can't even. It's like keyboard cat. I just can't. It just sparks joy. Like it just it's silly. Like why is that cat sat like that? And it looks like what's it thinking about? And for the into I think the second to last shortlist. Anthropomorphism was on the list for me. The projection of human ideas onto non-human things.
Why was that on your favourite list?
Because like
that's like one of my least favourite things.
So like you look at this cat, and it's silly because it's like it's just like staring off into the distance. It's like kind of like over the fairies, just kind of folded over, like a little bit fed up looking. No, it isn't. It's just a cat. Like it's not. It's just sat there. Like, but it looks like people. It's sat like a person do, like, and that's silly, and funny and whimsical, like, and I think that is entertaining. Yeah, I like that as an image. I'll include a link to the little video in the show notes.
You want me to talk about another one?
I don't know.
How many more are we doing?
I think we could do like at least 4 on this one.
Okay, we're gonna talk about. Abby's got one in here. Thank you, Abby, for writing in. Yep. Abby's gone with music.
Music. There you go.
Which I think is very in tune with kind of the...
In tune.
You gonna let me finish?
Yes.
It's very in tune with kind of the vibes that we've been going with the rest of our answers, I feel. I feel like any one of our answers could have been substituted with music, and we would have been like, yep.
Fucking the first thing I came up with, lasagna. Second thing I came up with, music.
Okay.
So, that does work. Yeah, that tracks. Music's almost like an emotional cheat code It's like it can just, quite unlike any other art form, it can really like shift your mood, make you think of something, take you back to a place, the connotations you attach to music, the situation, who you listened to it with, who told you about it, where you first heard it. It carries so much weight with it that it's absolutely it's fascinating. Like, it's really great. Like, it's really a really powerful human tool.
I think music is capable of expressing so many different emotions, so many different feelings and tones, and in any mental state that you're in at any given time, you could potentially listen to some music that would fit how you feel. And I think music is an important tool in this kind of interconnectiveness of humanity, right? Where you listen to a piece of music created by another person, and in that music, do you find something that links it to yourself, right?
Yeah, definitely. And my third thing was songs, because I was like, okay, music, songs, but once you start to branch out into lyrics and lyricism, and find oh my god, I mean, favorite song lyric and song verse, I think, were on the list, because I just love finding lyrics, thinking about lyrics, just being like, oh, this verse is so good, this bit is so nice, this bit is so cleverly written, the structure of this, or the way it says this or talks about this is so beautiful. It's an infinite well. There's so much to say about it. That it's beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful answer. It's 2 thumbs up from me on music. Yeah.
So true. Last one.
Yep.
This one's from Crib. Thank you, Crib.
Okay.
I don't believe this answer. Let me get that out of the way first.
Okay.
But Crib has answered with Playing Favourites podcast.
Well, it's always nice to meet a fan.
Yeah, hey.
The flattery, is very, very nice. I hope people like Playing Favourites. If it's not their favourite thing, that's very high praise. Or at least top 1,000. No, actually, there's a lot of things, isn't there? Top 50%. I hope.
Top 50%.
Out of all things.
Of all things.
Ever, because
that
even
includes things that you don't like. So
all things. Yeah. Do you think on a list of all things, top 50% is things you like, and bottom 50% is things you don't like, or do you think that the margin is moved?
God, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think there are probably more things that I like than things that I don't like in general. So I think even if you're in the bottom 50%, you could be something I like.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. I can't even. It's kind of one of these unfathomable things. I can't even. All things, what?
It would be hard to measure. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be quite.
I've got nothing against 90% of atoms, I think.
Yeah. Most sort of letters of the alphabet. I quite like R, W. Even its name's derivative. I don't know. That's probably in bottom 50%. But yeah, I don't know. We already did that episode, so it's a good time. So yeah, okay. Well, if we're done with people's favourites then, I mean, again, thank you for everyone who has tweeted in. I absolutely love that. Shall we get into our final 3, our podium finish for our favourite things?
Better hurry this up, because I'm going to go have a shower soon, so...
Fuck me. Right, okay. Yeah,
okay.
Right. Who are we on? Is it me? Is it my number 3 first? Yeah, okay. You have spoken about it, kind of.
Wii U.
It's the Wii U. No. It is. Yeah, we've already kind of touched on it, and it's just such a human thing. I absolutely just think it's so fundamental and so nice. Yeah, I know you need a shower. Okay, just let me build it up at the moment. It's top 3. This is bronze medal.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah. It's intimacy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In all forms. Mm-hmm. I think it's what it's all about. We're so painfully social. Creatures.
That's my number 3 as well, essentially.
Okay.
Mine's written down as community.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was, I think it's to do with this inherent human element of interpersonal connection, right?
Yeah. That's nice. I'm glad. That's really nice. Yeah, that we both got that in there.
It almost seems rigged.
Almost. If it was both at number one, they would be like, what the fuck? Let me tell you that. Yeah, it definitely is. Our number ones are definitely different.
Yeah. But if our number ones are the same, I'm going to be concerned.
Same. But you touched on it with coziness. Really, really well, and like intimacy with your friends, and sharing nice moments, but also sharing really important moments, and addressing things, and share, and love and care, and even with like significant others or romantic partners, and in across all ways, in fucking in sexual ways, in interpersonal ways, in small moments, where you like they can be happy, sad, excited, meaningful in a sort of non-specific way. Like I remember seeing a TikTok. This must be from like an anime or something.
Okay,
but it was a guy talking about. I'm even gonna fucking link this TikTok in the show notes. The visuals on screen were from an anime, but I don't know where the actual thing comes from itself.
I need to know now.
It's a guy talking about how like you shouldn't fill your life with happiness, because happiness comes and goes. You shouldn't strive to just make things happy. Like an example is like if your child was in the hospital, would you not go because it wouldn't make you happy? No, you'd go because it matters and is meaningful. And you shouldn't fill your life with things that make you happy. You should fill your life with things that have meaning and that mean something to you.
Yeah.
And are meaningful. And that really fucking struck a chord. I was like, yeah, like that's what it's about. And intimacy, I think, is almost one and the same there. It is these meaningful moments with people where you share in meaning with other humans, and it's the fucking most beautiful thing in the world. Like, I really,
No,
that one was number one for a moment,
for a hot minute.
Yeah. So
yeah, no, I can definitely see where that comes from.
And you said community, which is I guess like what's
mine
your
is
take
similar. Very similar. I'm focusing on this idea of like, I think what makes a lot of life worthwhile is the human connection element, right? Like, and again, that comes in many different forms, and oftentimes it just means finding like-minded people who you can share your life with.
No, that's
you are not an individual. You are a
legion.
You are legion.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely. I just have to ask you really quick. Your number one, is it avant-garde, or I know what I'm supposed to do, or is it a silly one?
My number one is the least avant-garde on this
list.
God. I would say.
Okay, thank God. Okay, mine too. Well, it's definitely not. It's not fucking some of the stuff we talk about. Okay, good. I didn't want to say mine, and then yours is like, fucking truth.
No, it's not that.
Okay. My number two.
Your number one's lasagna.
No, it isn't. I thought about it earlier. I was like, sub it in at the last minute. That would have been golden. No. My number two. Is one that when I was making the big, it really until the 11th hour was number one. Mm-hmm. This has stayed at number one more than
Harry's number one is the 11th hour.
The episode Doctor Who. No, I love that saying there. God, it's a good idiom, isn't it? But no, number two has been at number one for more than number one.
Jesus Christ, just finish your... What is it?
No, there's more setup. When I was making the big list, I know you've got to get in the shower. When I was making the original big list of everything that I like, this was the first and strongest where I wrote it down and thought, that's the one. It's paper.
Okay, yeah, like as in
paper,
a thing you would, yeah. Okay,
because everything you can do with paper speaks to the nature
origami.
A lot of the things that we've been speaking about.
Mm-hmm.
I have over there on a shelf various bits of paper people have given me. I have an origami swan from like that a girl gave me once, who like we like had a little happy like. It was like a nice little moment. She made this origami swan, gave it to me, and I've got various notes from people, both like serious and touching, and also silly moments. Like I've got one from someone I used to live with at uni because I left my door open, and so they wrote a little note and put it on my pillow, and they were like, "Hey, you left your door open. You're an idiot." and things like that, and snowflake. I've got like a little origami snowflake, and even then, so you start to broaden it out into letters that are written on paper, and you find maybe your grandparents' old letters they used to send to each other, or the idea of writing a letter gives it more emotional weight, or the art form of origami, or silly paper aeroplanes, or making a note of something. I have somewhere knocking around for some reason, just because I find myself attached to paper, not literally, but like
you're attached to paper.
I'm not actually attached to paper, no. But non-literally I am. But like I was explaining wormholes to my sister and the nature of space-time. And I did the little example where I do a dot on a piece of paper and another on a piece of paper, and I draw a straight line and say, wow, look, you'd have to travel this distance. But what if I bend the paper so that these two dots are next to each other? And so I have just like a piece of paper, a dot, and a line. But in that piece of paper, there is meaning now. Like, I have taken this entirely neutral, blank slate, blank sheet. Again, this, like, metaphor here. And I've imbued it with meaning. It's like paper is, like, the perfect empty vessel for meaning. Like... Yeah. But I don't know, what do you think? What do you think of that? And if you get in the shower, I don't want to, like...
No, I think... I definitely get where you're coming from. I probably wouldn't restrict it to paper. But I can definitely see where...
This one, definitely is like
is.
Yeah, I've chosen a thing that I think really nicely represents this idea.
Yeah. Again, it's... Yeah. It's... Yeah. No, I can see what you're doing.
Do you have, like, any,
do I have any paper?
Do you even have any paper, like, in your room?
I do.
Any notebooks? I
have some paper here.
Okay.
Which is from a story that Fran's mum is writing.
There you go.
Read the first draft of like the first chapter.
Yeah, okay. Like that.
I think that might be the only paper I have in my room. Oh no! Yeah, okay. Hold on. What's this? Is this my my PayPal credit sheet? That's it.
There you go. Like and all these things, like as ridiculous as it seems. Yeah, I know it is. This one is particularly sort of weird.
Yeah, it's more representative of an idea.
Yeah, but you're not
saying you love paper, like with
I don't know,
your whole heart.
I think the distillation of it down to paper, I think, is really nice. I can't think of anything.
If I got you paper for your birthday,
yeah,
you'd probably be like, "Oh wow, what a good and meaningful gift!" Like if I just bought you like one of those like packs of 200 empty sheets of A4 paper.
Yeah.
All right, mine.
Okay. Yeah, number
is
2.
not paper. Mine is actually. I kept the avant-garde theme until. Until the very end. No, this one's not silly.
Oh, right, this is an avant-garde one to the right to this one. Okay,
to the very end.
Right.
It's hope. What?
I just feel like I have said a lot of things on this podcast.
Yeah.
And you have rolled your eyes and fucking, gone all, whatever, and fucking gone all... And you've done this whole fucking thing. And your number 2...
My number 2 is hope,
thing, is hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I, agree. It just feels like the amount of time... I said...
Here's the thing. How many times have we spoken about, like, one day I really want to get a tattoo.
Mm-hmm. Crest of Hope, Digimon. Yeah, I know.
I love hope. I think hope's so important. I think hope is the thing that gets us through. The idea that, again, it comes down to the idea of, every day you wake up, you have to try and be better than the day before. And part of what comes with that is believing that every day can be better than the day that came before. This is the preliminary action. This is the... in the face of the absolute darkness of the universe, the total uncaring, unfeeling nature of everything that has ever existed, you, a human, are going to go out there with indomitable human spirit and make the world better. That is hope. You are the essence of hope.
It really does come down to, I feel like we've really tapped into, our fundamental differences in this episode. Even in just what you're saying there, this idea of hope being used as against, you're going out,
hope
despite your
against the darkness.
Yeah, I would go about that in such a completely different way. But I know you need to get in the shower, so I don't want to, we won't get into that. But but I agree. Let me get it on the record. I do agree with
Harry hates hope.
No, like, I'm just mad. The amount I got from you about fucking my favourite fact being that if hydrogen is left alone for long enough, it will begin to think about itself. And you're busting out all these, like, you know, artsy-fartsy avant-garde.
Right. Okay.
I think for me, it was like a lot of these did appear on like the big original draft list.
Yeah.
Like, you know, things like poetry and sentiment and language and things like that. And for me, they went away when I realized, like, you know, they're too vague. They're too all-consuming.
Yeah.
I think once you get to, like, you know, more sensational things, more, you know, sort of subjective-oriented things like, like hope, which is a feeling, you know, something you can experience. It does become more complex and more interesting. I would agree that it's a good thing and a thing that I like. And I guess the only reason it didn't really make my list is because I went about it in a different way and through the pruning process, chopped them out for different reasons.
We're different people.
Yeah, like
shockingly. That would have been really fucking funny if we had the same top 10 though.
What, all 10?
Yeah. It's unlikely.
What the fuck? That would be like, I would genuinely go insane. Like, I would lose my mind.
A glimpse into the madness.
Yeah, not like as in a funny way. Like I would need to go to therapy because like, okay, yeah.
You'd probably think I was just lying.
I suppose that right now
because I'm always going after you.
Always in a second. Yeah, you'd go insane.
I'd
be like, hey, okay.
I probably wouldn't. I'd probably be like, this is strange.
What if all 10?
Yeah.
No, I knew. I was like, there's no way. I really knew when I did 0.9 recurring equals 1. I was like, there's no way we're getting lining up on this one. But speaking of 1.
Yeah. Your number 1.
The one. The number 1.
Number 1.
My number 1.
I have legitimately no idea what your number 1 will be.
Yeah. You couldn't really know, like... It is just a personal one. It's a really personal one. And it's just kind of... It's not grand. It's not, you know...
It's like a family member.
It's just a thing I like. Yeah, kind of. It's like... do you remember the Sauces episode?
Yeah.
My favourite was Worcestershire
because you had a story about your granddad.
Yeah, because my granddad makes these absolutely gorgeous bacon sandwiches. And my favourite thing is my granddad's bacon sandwiches.
Oh, okay. That's nice. I like that. That's good... It's poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah, and you know, we spoke about it on Playing Favourites. I told the story. I actually listened to it this morning.
Just to really remind yourself.
Yeah, and I thought like how, you know, he just makes them. He chucks a bit of Worcestershire sauce in there, so it doesn't taste like any other bacon sandwich that I have anywhere else.
No one else is using the Worcestershire sauce.
And he knows how I like it. Yeah, he trims off all the fat, and I like the bacon a little bit softer as opposed to crispy. And you know, he's even fucking like mopping the grease up a little bit in the fucking, you know, in the pan. It's just, you know, it's absolutely gorgeous. Brown bread, how I like it. Bacon sandwich. He'll make one whenever I stay over. Even when I was a kid, I'd go over on a Saturday. He'd make me one. He'd take the bacon out of the freezer the night before. You know, when I'd go over and stay overnight at their house as I get a little bit older. You know, he'd even know. Like, I'd say, like, you know, make a sandwich. He's like, yeah, I know. Like, he knew I would want one. And and I'd let him know in the morning, like, yeah, I'm ready for the bacon sandwich. And he'd make it, and I eat it. And it always tastes fucking great. Even when I told this anecdote on the Sauces episode, like, I remember being in year 2. I'd been like 8 years old. And we had to do, we were learning about Ramadan. And what would be the first food you'd eat after Ramadan? And you'd draw a picture of it. And I drew a picture of my granddad's bacon sandwich. Yeah, which is quite funny. But I drew a little picture of it. And because they're great and I love them. I love them. And I love my granddad. And they're so nice. And they've been there throughout my entire life. And they fucking taste amazing. And I love them so much that they're always going to be number 1. So I tried to put paper at the top. You know, how can I make these lose to something like that? You know, when it's my list, like, no. My favourite thing is my granddad's bacon sandwiches. What do you think about my granddad's bacon sandwiches?
I've never tried them. I kind of do want to try one now. I've heard they're really good.
They're quite good, yeah. I mean, I know you like crispy bacon. I'm sure you could do.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, I would want to try one how he makes them for you, and then
okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I'd be like, it's kind of mid.
You do leave the bacon a little bit longer next time, yeah. And also, by the way, got a text from my mum this morning saying, would you like a bacon sandwich? And I said, yeah, and my mum made me a bacon sandwich. And I thought, yes, right.
I want one.
Yeah, it was quite nice. I do quite like a bacon sandwich. My mum has been cooking bacon sandwiches using oil for her entire life. She puts oil in them.
Yeah,
You don't need to.
you don't need to do
The
that.
fat, yeah. And
Yeah.
I had to tell when I made a bacon sandwich for her once.
Did you not like the sandwich your mum made you then?
No, it's quite nice. It tastes like a bacon sandwich. It was good.
But it's not good enough.
It was good enough. It definitely was good enough. But my granddad's bacon
But
sandwiches
not quite there, was it?
are more than enough. They're more than enough.
I get it.
Go on, what's your favourite? While you're about to start mocking me, go on.
I'm not going to mock you. I'm going to mock your mother and her bacon sandwiches.
Okay,
I'm a villain like that.
Could I guess it?
Yeah, you could, absolutely. I don't think it would even be that hard.
God, okay. This is my moment.
You just have to like really, you don't have to think that hard. If you're thinking too deep, you've gone too far.
That's fine.
Think about me and like things that exist in my life.
Yeah.
And then just like pretty much top of the list.
And you said not, and it's not like a weird conceptual thing.
It's not conceptual.
It's a material thing.
Well.
Okay, it's like, okay. May, it goes against a rule that I had when making the list.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your girlfriend, Fran?
It is my girlfriend, Fran, yeah. I put her on the list. I was like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I can't think of anything else that would...
How could you? Yeah, no, like...
The only way I could contextualize putting anything above Fran is being, podcasty and being like...
Yeah, it's like silly, yeah. Ube.
Well, no, I was thinking like, I would be like, well, I don't want to put Fran, because like, what if anything happens? So I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
like, right now, in this moment, she's my favourite thing. Yeah, I don't like calling her a thing very much. That's the thing. But,
my original list had a few sort of like musical artists and comedians and things like that. And I thought, whilst they are technically within the span of all things.
No.
I personally, I just like, they wouldn't have made the top 10 anyway. So I just thought, okay, we're fine. But no, that's a really nice and really heartwarming answer. And like, as much as it feels like, you could almost write it off as a, oh no, I'd really get it in the neck if I, blah, blah, blah. I know it's true. Like, I know it's true. I know it's sincere, and I know where it's coming from. Or at least, even if I feel like I know a part of that, and so that's absolutely delightful. That's so nice. That that's really sweet. That that's good.
Thank you.
So let's hope she listens to this episode.
That'd be no, she, Well, she never makes it to the end. She never gets to know.
Oh, she always falls asleep. She listens to them when she goes to bed.
Well, I'm gonna go see her in like 2 days. So
you can mention you.
God, I really hope she doesn't listen to it whilst I'm there. I'll be,
Well, but think about that'd be really sweet.
It would be sweet.
You're in different rooms or something,
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm well chuffed that I managed to guess the last one.
I told you it was really easy.
Yeah, I could have guessed like Ocean Man.
You could have. That could have been on there.
Yeah, like I could have guessed something maybe like video games was something I was thinking about guessing for your number one.
You got that one off the list.
Yeah, and so I'm sure it's not quite as a crazy pull as chimpanzees or Brazil. No, I think that'll be topped. But it's a great answer. And
it was always my answer. It was the first thing I came up with as well.
Yeah.
I was like, realistically, there was no other option.
Of all of your things, she's your favourite thing.
Yep. The things that I possess. Yep.
Yeah. Just trying to really just...
Yeah, you just swing it as negatively as possible. Yeah.
No, I'm going to take it back.
No, you're under arrest now.
Oh no. Is that why we can't do playing favourites?
Yeah. You're under arrest for crime.
I guess this is it then, right? This is the end of the episode.
That's it. We'll meet again.
Yeah,
don't know where, don't know when.
I guess, there's the Twitter at @playfavorites, there's the email playingfavoritеspodcast@gmail.com. If there's anything you have to say to either of them, please do tweet in, please do email in.
Now's the opportunity. In 24 hours, they're all going to explode.
I still have access to them. If anyone re-listens to any episodes, the email remains open. The Twitter account exists. Mm-hmm. But that's not really the I don't know.
If you ever want to keep up with any playing favorites related goodies, now's the time to follow me or Harry.
Very true.
On our social media of choice.
Yeah, links are all in the show notes.
Find me on Twitter.
Yeah, as per usual. Both on Twitter. We both do various YouTube live streaming, internet projects. This isn't our only thing. We do all kinds of weird shit, both together and separate. It's mad. It's a good old time. So yeah, they're worth checking out for more of this, for more of the things we do.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, really, all the only thing I have to say is thanks. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening along throughout. Whether it's been a couple of episodes, you dipped in and out, you've been here since the beginning or near the beginning.
Now's the perfect time to binge listen to all of them.
Go through all of them. Yeah, start again.
Now that you know there's an endpoint, you can
true.
Just
you can
listen to all of them in I don't know how long it would take.
Probably about 45 hours because some are shorter, some are longer.
Ish, yeah.
They average out.
You could do that in 3 days.
2 days. 3 hours of sleep.
You could do it in 2. You could.
Yeah. God, 2.5 years and we've made just under 2 days of content. Wow. But yeah, no, that's really it. And obviously it's always sad when something
what's really
ends.
fucked up?
Go on.
I make that amount of content in 3 weeks.
Yeah, through live streams. Yeah, that is kind of insane. But that's a weird one to think about. Yeah. But no, it's always melancholy when something comes to an end. But it's been a good run. And
you're moving on to bigger and hopefully better things.
Yeah, it's been a good time.
Right,
Thank you to.
I need to go have a shower.
Thank you to everyone who has listened along. Thank you to everyone who's listened, shared, joined in, enjoyed it. It's all good. It's what makes it worthwhile. The creation of content, etc., etc. All very good and cool. And it's been lovely for us. I've had a fucking good time. Have you enjoyed playing favorites?
I do enjoy playing favorites.
Yeah,
I enjoyed playing favorites. It's been a pleasure to have played favorites with you.
Yes, thank you, and with you as well, May, and you, the listener,
and you too, listener.
You, that's right,
and you,
Lewis,
the audience. What a reveal!
The listener's name is Lewis. Man, if anyone's listening called Lewis, though,
meet again.
That's incredible. All right, well, that's it. That's it from me. May, any final thoughts?
I wish you the best. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye. How do I stop?